Hello everybody and welcome back to the pre-production meeting, episode 34. I am your co-host Josh Urquhart.
And this time I'm the other one, Austin Scott.
Austin, how are you, my friend?
Just weird. Feels weird.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since it's just been us two.
It's just been us. I hope Dan's having the best time in Europe.
I really don't hope he's having a good time at all. He's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works and just left it all up to us. He's a terrible employee and I hope his plane kind of gets stuck.
Finish that sentence.
His plane gets stuck over there and, we have some alone time to, rejuvenate the chemistry of this podcast.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I prefer it when Dan wasn't on. I'm joking. I'm joking. How are you, Austin?
I'm good? I'm good. Off the back of being best boy, I feel like the best boy. So, no.
Who's the best boy?
It was weird. A lot of people were rubbing my stomach when they said that. No, it was good. Since, last time I saw you was your set. I've been working on Stain and working on something new at the same time.
Ooh, okay.
Very early stages, but I'm really excited about the project because I feel like a lot of, and it goes off what you were saying before we started this, but like self-discovery, and I'm really excited to sort of figure out some things about myself and like my films in the future, which is something I really haven't sat down and like planned out, if you know what I mean. So, no, I'm really excited and I can't wait to get stuck into it. Like just when I'm even sitting there writing and getting lost in the world I'm creating, it's just really exciting to sort of live in another place, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
I think it does. And now, because I know what you're talking about, these guys don't. I think you've been needing to get to this place, especially for a long time. You're making stuff that you like and you want to make now.
It's just it's just stuff I want to watch. Like I want to look at it and go like, oh fuck, that's hectic. Like,
exactly, mate.
It's that's exactly what I want to do, and I feel like I'm on the right track. Just sort of talking to people about it and then getting the reception of like, bro, sounds good. Go for it. Do this, do that. I'm like, yep, done. I know this is for me. And that's kind of where my head's at. And I'm really excited. It kind of like reignited the creative spark, your set. And I was just like, fuck, I want to feel this again.
Good.
Like, so, your set, thank you. It's all been, just crazy. I'm so excited to see some of it that you said that's made. But how do you feel since? Yeah, well,
I just want to say, so we recorded an episode last week and we decided just to scrap it all together because Dan, the unprofessional bugger, he's actually fired. That's why he's not here.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And then he's fled to Europe.
He's fled to Europe. He's come out a few troubles. So it was a bit like iffy last week. And then he uploaded the podcast and was supposed to release it today. Luckily, we had the on-set special, but he was supposed to release it today, and then he only uploaded an hour of the half an hour podcast, so I couldn't do that.
Shit.
And then like he left for Europe, so I couldn't get the rest of the file.
Should have taken his laptop with him.
I know, right? But no, it was. In that podcast, we basically just like touched on the set, but then like the onset special, if you guys haven't listened to it, it's the episode that released previously to this. I kind of went over everything in there on like how I felt on the set and stuff. But in general, how I'm feeling now is I've had a while to kind of let it sink in, and it took me a while to let it sink in. And I remember it hit me when I was listening to the new Across the Spiderverse soundtrack on the way to work a couple of days later, and I was just looking around and I had like an what's it called? An external
out of body experience.
Out of body, like kind of feeling like, wow, we did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because holy shit, what an experience that was, and I'll touch on it in the progress. But it was not easy, and it was a true team effort. And the fact that we got it all done with flying colours, and it looks amazing, and it is amazing, still is beside me. Like there were so many doubts I had before, during, where I was like, how are we going to get this done? Because it was a mammoth task. And I remember thinking on set, I'm like, especially on that third day, we have this day tomorrow where we're having about 85 people on set. We have fucking 28 shots to get done in 8 hours. How are we going to do it? But you know, we persevered and we got it all done. And reflecting back on that makes me not only proud of myself, because I am proud of myself, because fuck,
please be
it was
proud
a
of yourself.
big fucking thing. And it was a year and a half of my life that went into 4 days. I'm proud of the fucking team. And, you know, not everybody had a lot to do on set, but the fact that everybody was there just in case, you know, we needed an extra pair of hands. Everybody did their job, from the heads of departments to those extra pair of hands, and we couldn't have done it without every single person there.
Absolutely.
And it really, really just solidified why I love filmmaking. It's the team aspect of it, and I think it's very important that we realize, you know, everybody in this indie filmmaking industry is on the same level at the moment, and nobody has reached that point of success to grow an ego yet. So everybody loves each other. Everybody's backing each other up, and that is truly what made this set and everything work. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. Beyond my expectations. And I'm feeling pretty good about it now. Lockie's edited 16 minutes worth of the footage. So he's on page 16 of, I think it's 23 pages or something.
Nice.
So we've almost got an assembly cut, and hopefully get that done by the end of June. And I'll go into, in the progress, what our what's it called? What our post-production timeline looks like. Because I feel like we've set it out pretty nicely, and we have goals and deadlines to hit. And we're aiming for a certain day for the premiere. But overall, how I'm feeling, brother, is proud and happy. But also a bit like, what the fuck do I do now?
Well, do you know what? When so Josh and I got here to do this podcast, and I pulled up behind him, got out of the car just as he was pulling in as well, and what got out of the car in front of him was a man liberated of not the burden of planning out your film, but like, you know, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, a man he's wearing white today, and
I'm
you know,
pure, brother.
Pure. You know, focus on yourself. You know, as I've said on the podcast a couple of times after my film, like, you know, you can only do so much as a director, and then it's out of your hands and into other people. You still oversee it, but it's out of your hands. But, you know, you put in the hard yards. Because like I had this thought the other day, actually. You and I have both directed now our films that we spoke about at the start of this podcast.
How insane.
Exactly right. It's very insane. And, you know, now, you know, we're both in post and sort of getting to a point where it's almost done to a degree that we're kind of thinking about what's next. And I think that's crazy. We're like, do we really want to do this all over again?
You know what? And brother, I know the answer to that. And it's
absolutely.
Times, yes.
Absolutely.
And sorry.
No, you're all right. To touch on what you said about your set as well, I honestly went into that set just going, you know what, I'm just going to be an open book and just soak everything in. Yeah. Just introduce myself to people, because again, that's how you fucking
a lot of people.
You gotta talk to people to know people in the industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, I met some fucking amazing people. Like, it was just insane. Everybody's just there to do a job, but for the love of filmmaking as well. And I said it. Who did I say it to? I think I said it to. What was her name?
Alexa.
No, not Alexa.
Jade.
Yeah, I think it was Jade.
PA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jade. I think it was Jade. And Indy. I said this to Jade and Indy at separate times. Like, conversations you have with people on set versus conversations you have at work with some people. I just felt like they were so different. It's just not, you know, taking it out on anyone that I work with or anyone you work with or anything like that. But like, you know, I always feel like I'm like annoying people with my chat at work when it comes to talking about film and your aspirations and stuff like that. But bro, when you're on a film set, right, I remember thinking to myself like, oh shit, I got to be somewhere. Like, sorry, right, let's pick this up later, kind of thing. And it was just so cool, because then you hear about what they want to do and everything they've done, and then, you know, it's just awesome. Everybody was there, and that's another person I was talking to, Emily, your actress.
Yes, Emily.
I was talking to her about it as well, and you know, it was just, I just loved it. It was just so good, like having those conversations,
Dude.
and everybody's like-minded, and then in between takes, everybody starts talking. Like, bro, that was cool. I loved it.
I'm so happy you said it. I want to track back a little bit. Thank you for taking note of my fit today. My girlfriend didn't like it. She said the white on white doesn't work. But I'm like, Sarah, it works. All right, so thank you. Just had to clarify that
all
first.
one color costumes,
mate. I'm feeling pure. I'm feeling pure. So no, and then tracking back to what you said, just everybody on set loved each other. Like, genuinely loved each other. And it tracks me back to something that Kieran said, and I had a really heartfelt conversation to him.
Kieran almost made me cry.
The same with me after the fact, and you know, I can go on about like things that people said to me and shit that happened on set, and maybe we'll go into that in the progress. But something that Kieran said to me was like, at the end of the set, he's like, Josh, this was one of the best experiences. He's like, you know why? He's like, because I'm doing something for people that I love.
Oh, Kieran.
I know. And it's like, that man was doing it out of the kindness of his heart. And he's like, this is what filmmaking and is all about. He's like, this is what life is about, doing something for people you love. And that is indie filmmaking in a fucking nutshell.
Absolutely.
You know, and those are and just the people on set, the people you talk to, everybody has a different story, you know, where they came from. And this is why I love the industry. This is why I love the career. This is why I love filmmaking, is that this is, it's my vision, but my vision is brought together by all those 100 crew and cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every single person brings a piece of themselves into this movie, and it's a collective piece of art with 1,000 voices.
Absolutely.
Into one vision.
That was, wow. Look at you. Wow.
I know.
That's awesome. That's actually a really good way of looking at it. And like, Kieran is just the most pure soul you could ever talk to. I don't think that guy has a bad bone in his body. You'd have to do something,
mate,
terrible to upset the bloke. I mean, he just loves everything and everyone about life. Like, it is just awesome to see.
It was so funny. The night before, so when we saw Spiderverse, right? After Spiderverse, he called me up and he was freaking out. He's like, Josh, I'm having a bit of a freak out. He's like, but don't worry, I've sorted out the problem, so don't you freak out. And I'm like, what? Cut to the chase. Don't say that. He's like, my battery pack has blown up. And I'm like, why are you telling me? I'm like, the number one rule in filmmaking is don't tell the director. And then I'm like, talk to Lexi. I'm not dealing with this. In the nicest way possible, I'm not dealing with this. And he called Lexi, and the first thing Lexi was like, don't tell Josh.
Oh, no. But, because then on the Monday... On the Monday, he's running around going, oh, no, that was on the Tuesday. It was on the Tuesday. And he was like, have you seen my batteries? Have you seen my batteries? Have you seen my batteries?
Yeah, he had to use a PowerPoint instead of batteries for the rest of the shoot.
Bless.
Yeah, luckily we were inside in a building for the rest of the time.
Exactly. But no, and his boom op, Jackson.
Yeah.
I loved him. He's awesome.
What a legend,
He's really...
He knew nobody. He just came on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I was not watching him, but like, he introduced himself to me and said this is his first set outside JMC, and he can already tell the dynamic is different to anything they shot at uni. And then I was like, you know what? You're really lucky that you're on this set, because we've maintained a family dynamic outside of JMC, and anybody that comes on is then part of the family. And we want like a solid crew that we can work with in future projects, and we just know that it's going to be harmony the entire time.
For sure.
He's like, I can tell straight away. Like, that's the thing. And he was going around, bro. It was so cute. I'll never forget this. He's holding the boom up for Kieran, and he keeps looking back at Kieran going, Kieran, is this all right? Is this all right? And Kieran's like, mate, you're doing good. And he's like, sorry, I'm just really nervous. Is this okay, the way I'm holding it and doing it? And I was just like, oh, bless your little cotton socks. But then, he came out of his shell, and he was really cool throughout. But, dude, your set was fucking awesome. And I'm not sure if it was because I was playing such a minor role as best boy, but apart from, the gimbal not working...
we'll go into the challenges, I reckon, in the progress.
Like, I don't really know if anything went wrong, but
I'll tell you.
Again,
In the progress,
it was because it was through,
it
was through my eyes, not yours. And
Yeah.
like, you know, it was, I left and Beth goes, how did it go? I'm like, really fucking well. I don't think anything wrong happened.
Yeah, mate.
So, you know, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. There was one thing I wanted to say before we move on. I can't remember what it was. Oh, fuck. I had something to say. But I'll leave you with something that Luke told me. And this was probably the one thing that, like, made this whole experience, like, the best for me. It's something Luke came after me because he's probably the most experienced out of all the actors there. Luke, who was Tom Holland's, Tom Holland's body double.
Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, Charles Leclerc. So he came up to me after and he's like, Josh, no, I'm going to not try to do the English accent. He's like, Josh, he's like, I've been on all the sets, all the Hollywood sets, you know, all the big Netflix, everything you can imagine. And he's like, this set was run as smoothly, if not better than most of them.
Ooh, that is, you know what, high praise.
Maybe I am like I wanted to tell everybody that because I'm fucking proud of myself, bro.
You have to be.
And that just solidified that I did everything right because I put so much time, effort, rehearsals into this shit, and like to hear that makes it fucking amazing. It was already amazing, but that like tips it off. And he posted on his Instagram as well, going, Josh is one of the best directors I've worked with.
Fuck yes.
And he's worked with all the fucking big Hollywood
You
names.
have to hold that to the highest standard because I was listening to our old episodes of the pre-production meeting. I just went back and listened to them.
I want to do that. Hey.
I can't believe how many times I say the word stuff like that and all of that stuff. Like to finish off my sentences, I just went, yuck. Do not say that once tomorrow on the podcast. But think about it. The ideas that we came up with. I remember what I
was going to say. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Think about the ideas we came up with, the breakdowns that you were doing in the progress from a book you found in the rut we were in, to getting a comment like that a year and like a half later. Brett, hold yourself to the highest standard because that is fucking awesome. And you should be very, very proud of yourself.
I am, but I couldn't have done it without you. And that's what I was going to say, is that I made sure the very first people that I thanked in the rap speech was yourself and Dan.
Pre-production meeting.
The pre-production meeting, because honestly, I wouldn't be where I was back like then or now without this fucking podcast.
Yeah, 100%. And dude, I have this podcast to thank as well for all the stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's like we got a nice little community as well now, like on the potty, and you know, that was never our goal. It's just an extra kind of bonus to it. But like this has 100% served its purpose and will continue to, you know, serve its purpose for what it is. And you know, I couldn't have done it without you, honestly. And you know, there'll be more. I'll go deep into it on the premiere speech. Don't you worry.
Perfect.
But yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy with how everything went. And there's a couple more things I'll touch on, but I'll touch on it in the progress.
Perfect.
So my friend, let's get on to the wrap up of the week. Now we have a couple of things that we can talk about. Now I reckon we keep it to things that we've both seen.
Okay.
So I reckon let's talk about Spiderverse. Let's talk about The Flash.
And
then we'll finish off with Extraction.
Perfect.
Happy?
Happy.
Let me do an honorable mention, though. Maybe you can do an honorable mention. And I think, because I mentioned this last week, but the episode got cut. So I watched this movie, right? My girlfriend pitched it to me as a happy rom-com that we just wanted a chill night in, brother. We wanted a chill night. And she's like, yeah, this happy rom-com, you know, upbeat, funny. I'm like, cool. Yeah, let's watch it. So we put it on. And Austin, it was the saddest fucking movie.
Oh, no.
I was bawling. She was bawling as well next to me. I was bawling. I haven't cried this much since Tony Stark died.
Oh, God.
But this was on another level, mate. I'm like, I looked at her. I'm like, upbeat, you say? Funny. Anyways, it was a fantastic movie. And it got to 11 on my list of all time.
Damn.
It was called About Time. I don't know if you've seen it with
About Time.
Domhnall Gleeson and Rachel McAdams. And the pitch of it is basically it's a family, and all the men in the family have this special ability to travel back in time to a certain memory of theirs, not anybody else's but theirs. And that's their special ability, and basically that's where the drama comes from. That's where the humor comes from. That's where the stakes come from, because he tries to go back and craft this perfect life for himself, to which then you realize the consequences, not of messing with time, but just of how, you know, life isn't perfect. And it was just so sad at the end, but fucking incredible movie.
About Time. Okay. Rachel McAdams.
Watch it.
Yep, done.
And I remember telling Dan about it. He's like, when I saw that, he's like, I thought you were rewatching. He's like, that is a movie up your alley. And it was.
Okay.
So, but anyways, is there any honorable mentions that you want to do before we get into the proper ones?
Yeah, but I won't dive into it because I already did when I talked about it. But I finished Succession, and that's going to go up there as one of my favorite shows of all time. That's
fuck yes, brother.
Yeah, even when Lockie was down, and he slept in a lot longer than me on the Saturday, so I just watched an episode of Succession, and then he came out and sat on the couch and caught the end of the episode where two characters were arguing, which was arguably the climax of the episode, the fight scene without fighting. And then he just went, that's one of the best fucking scenes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Like, and I was sitting there and like the comebacks and rebuttals that they were saying, I just kept going like, damn, fuck, oh my God. Like, bro, Succession is a masterpiece and it's going to go out there. I haven't ranked my TV shows yet, but it's up there as probably one of, if not favorite shows of all time. Like, it's
how long are the eps?
They're all like an hour each.
I can't do an hour.
Like
I can barely do 40
10,
minutes, bro. Now I can't do the movie hour episodes. Speaking of favorite TV shows of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of mine. Have you seen the live action photos that got released today from that?
I saw the one you put in the group chat yesterday.
I'm excited.
It's exciting, but they've got to do like it went so well last time.
I know.
So you know they've got to do something
to kind of live up for.
Yeah, but no, that's probably my only honourable mention.
Fair.
Apart from the three films we're about to discuss.
Nate, Spiderverse. Now, it was. I think this is good because me and you had pretty different views on this. Me and Dan actually, for somehow, had similar views on this. I didn't give it a 5. You did.
Oh, yeah.
I gave it a 4.5.
Yep.
Now, I'll explain my half first because it's different to yours. I feel like yours is more what everybody's saying, right? I didn't give it a 5. Still was very good, but I didn't give it a 5 for the very fact that it was a first part and there wasn't a full story.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to digress and like let it flush through my mind. And there was just something that I couldn't pick up that it just wasn't clicking with me.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty funny to say when I still give it 4.5. It was a great movie, one of the best animations ever made, and will win the Oscar. But there was just something about it that I just didn't connect with, that couldn't push it to that 5 out of 5. And it was purely because it was a first-parter not done how a first-parter should be, in my opinion. It was a much like The Matrix kind of thing where the whole movie is fucking prepping you for the next one. And I don't like that. It wasn't a full story. It didn't have a fucking first act, second act, third. That's fine. And the exposition went all the way into like the last act of the film. Like your world building and stuff. It felt a bit like Avatar where it was like world building for most of the movie and then like crams a little bit of at the end. Like I remember checking the time and going, fuck, this doesn't have long left. They haven't even done anything yet. And then the whole chase scene happened. Don't get me wrong, it was fucking sick. But I figured out what that thing that was fucking with me. And it was the stakes to the movie and the story weren't introduced until there was like half an hour to go. The stakes being what's going to happen to the father.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the film was just a bit of a nothing. Like you're introducing like where's people at from the last film, but we don't get introduced to what the fuck's going to happen until like half an hour to go.
I would argue that that's the genius of it though.
Okay.
So again, like this is the good thing about film discussions is that two different opinions, but I'd argue that that's the genius of it because for me entirely, I didn't feel the runtime at all. I will argue like I still give it 5, but I remember thinking to myself, fuck, they're going to end it right here.
Yeah.
When I wanted more. But that's in my opinion, that's good.
Sure.
But at the same time, it kind of took me out to realize, oh, fuck, they're about to end it. So I'd give it a 4.97.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I can't do anything less than 5 on Letterboxd. So, but yeah, back to the point of, I argue that's the genius of the film is like, we're existing in this awesome world and we're figuring out all this stuff. And like, yes, it gets to an exposition dump, which I actually leaned over to you in the cinema and went, that's how you do a fucking exposition dump.
Yeah.
And then you're in this because you know that you're in it for the visuals. You're in it for Miles Morales, the multiverse that we're all exploring. Spider-Man 2999.
Yes.
2099.
2009. I don't
whatever. Whatever. Oscar Isaac. You're in it for all the cool shit you're going to see. And it delivers that in spades.
For sure.
But to me, I got what I love of an ending of a film when they don't back out from it. So you know how old mate
just like Thanos.
Spot.
Yes, Spot. Yes.
Spot achieves his goal. And
Yeah.
then the way, obviously,
Yeah.
it's at the end when we go, fuck,
Crack a
something's gonna
lead
happen.
up.
But
to a
like, yeah,
villain.
like that's the thing. We're kind of just existing with Miles Morales, and like Spot's kind of, you know, the villain of the week. I found that quite funny. He's the villain of the week, but he's not. His goal is so fucking scary.
Talk about character development,
Bro.
in the movie, bro.
I looked up. I don't recognize the actor that voiced him.
It was Schwartzman.
Yeah,
Jason Schwartzman
yeah.
or
I was like, it sounds like Ryan Reynolds, but I was like, if they got Ryan Reynolds, I'm going to be pissed because like it'd take away from everyone else in the movie.
For sure, man.
And then when I saw it was him, and I was like, he took on. Like you look at him and go, oh yeah, he's not an intimidating villain whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that line when he's like, you know, Miles has that last ditch effort of going like, you know, you're not a joke. No one thinks you're a joke. And then he just looks back and goes, no, they won't after this. And then goes, Brett, and you don't know what happens. Like he just disappears into his ether. And then you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then Indian Spider-Man says like another classic adventure of Spider-Man. Like, no. And then it just blows up or whatever. Something happens. And then you kind of back in. Like it just snaps you out of like that moment of going, oh, fuck, that's right. And then it snaps you back into the thing. So then you're straight back in. And then everything that pans out from there, you go through the Spider HQ or whatever they called it, and you know all the cameos come in and all that stuff. And I just said it and all that stuff, and all of you know the
I'll bleep it.
all of the fun multiverse stuff that you want, and then you know we have an exposition dump. But then, like I said to you, and then like you're in it and all that kind of stuff. There's no other word to say.
Yeah, it's fine.
But then I got most hyped when that line was delivered, and it's been well received.
Is it the Miles one?
The Miles one, bro.
One of the best lines of cinema.
I remember when that happened, I looked at Lockie and he looked at me. We just
What is
went,
it?
what?
It's like
Everybody's telling me how my story's supposed to go. Nah, I'm doing my own thing.
That's
bruh.
I got goosebumps.
Holy
bro.
shit.
That was in the trailer, I'm pretty sure.
I'm so glad I didn't see the trailer because I saw it in the trailer. That would have taken away for me that moment. But yeah, and then he goes through.
Did you not watch the trailer at all?
Nothing. And for a movie we're going to talk about later, I didn't even watch anything. But and then when he gets back, I was genuinely shocked by the plot twist. I didn't pick that, and I know you didn't either because me and you both went, oh,
yeah.
And then so that adds another layer to it. So and then yeah, my only quarrel with the film is I just went, oh, you fuckers are going to end it now, aren't you? And they did. So I want so much more.
Yeah.
And I agree with you to a point that it's one part. You know, you can't.
Like Infinity War did a one part, and that worked because they finished the story.
Yeah. They completed an arc. Didn't leave it open.
They did, and like Spiderverse did it well. They did, and there was nothing wrong with how they did. I prefer the first one by a country mile.
It also kind of clicked with me in a personal note as well.
Okay.
And I think that's what I gave it such hype. You know,
everybody's trying to tell me how my story is supposed to go.
That line, and you know, yes, Oscar Isaac's the plot device they use is canon events throughout every universe. These things have to happen for us to all exist and the universes to exist. I get that. That's pretty cool. And you know, it's pretty detrimental if you don't let those events happen. What happens if it doesn't though? Why not just try? Like Miles has such a conflict, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that conflict because
what a fucking like stake, by the way. Like
that's it. And that like you're the. Oh, by the way, spoilers. You're
yes.
the original anomaly or whatever. And then when even that happened, I was like, oh, that's right. And you know that Spider-Man died in the universe, and Miles wasn't meant to come. So who's to say that his canon event wasn't Spider-Man? Like you know, there's that. Just what will happen? The conflict is insane.
And the whole thing about the dad like made me physically go, holy shit, in the cinema. I'm like, wow, if this was only introduced a bit earlier, but if you take, I guess, this one and the next one as one movie, it was introduced where it should be. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was good, but yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add on that, really?
granted that I'm making an animation film, looking at that stuff,
mate.
Holy shit. That is fucking phenomenal.
No wonder they're all trying to do that now, like the Ninja Turtles movie, Puss in Boots, like we're all going for that, but no one will ever be able to replicate Spiderverse, mate.
And I loved the, because I watched some little like making of Spiderverse, and they were like, we got to have fun with all the Spider-Man and women, because they each come from their own universe, so it gave all the artists freedom to create it how they want. And I was like, that's just amazing. I love that.
Fantastic.
Everything about it was just fucking awesome.
Awesome. It was. It was a multiverse movie. Now, we've got quite a bit of them lately, and I think I'm all multiversed out.
Oh, big time.
Considering we still have fucking Marvel's multiverse movies to go, which I think we've just seen so many now. Marvel, who knows what the fuck's happening with them. Secret Invasion apparently comes out like this week, which has already got shit reviews. But another movie that's a multiverse movie that have got ups and downs reviews is The Flash. And we both saw it this week. I went first on Spider-Verse. I reckon you go first on this one.
Now, I'm going to mirror what you said about Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I've let it sit with me for a bit, like a little bit of... I let it sort of marinate in my head and flush through my brain. And I actually brought it down a star just because I was in the cinema by myself, which is always the best to do. And like I forgave it while I was sitting there because I was like, I want this to be good because I just want that superhero appreciation back. I was like, I really, really think this is good. But, for me, I forgave it while I was sitting there experiencing it. But then the further I thought about it and the more I did was like, for me, the comedy didn't land 2 points. Certain things that everybody's going off about the fucking CGI.
Don't even get me started.
Fucking rewind. And I thought to myself, when I was watching it, I was like, no, like that has to be because he's in this.
That's why.
And I was like, that has to be because why it's in this. And then
it's intentional.
Yeah, I was fighting it in the movie going like, okay, it has to look like this because he's in there. Yes. And then I was like, okay, cool, no worries. And then I started to think to myself, like, I thought that they were going to introduce, because you know more about the Flash than I do. I thought they were going to introduce Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Technically, they did.
No,
I don't know much about Flash.
No,
so,
they didn't.
Okay, they didn't? No. Cool, no worries.
That's a separate character from
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought that's what they were introducing. I was like,
No.
oh, cool, that's cool.
No.
But then I remember that this is the last one before.
Although Andy, the director, came out today and said that the person that did kill Barry's mother was the Reverse Flash.
Swear.
Yes.
Okay, that must be why that's open-ended then. So you've just answered another question of mine. Okay, cool. That's awesome. But like adding him into the film would have just created another layer on top of what was already going on. Okay, cool. So that kind of, fills a hole for me. Yep. So that's good.
You shouldn't need me to do that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all the negatives I had on it. But the positives, Michael Keaton.
Yes.
And Kara.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. But I feel like visually it was cool, and especially when the two Barrys come together with that, how they ran and then the fucking foot thing. I thought that was fucking sick.
Yeah.
And the like, should I emperor this guy? And then she's like, nah.
That was cool.
And then a mate of mine at work and I were talking about how, because I didn't realize that he loses his powers. I didn't realize that was a thing. And then when he, in real life, everybody's saying he runs funny. And then that scene where he's just running around the room doing the thing and he looks like just skipping, but I was pissing myself.
I was pissing myself. That was hilarious, mate.
And then also the... you have to learn how to phase, and he just goes, phases through the floor, and then you hear like, oh my God, get out of here. But like, I thought that was pretty funny as well. So, there are positives.
Did hit.
Yeah, like it did hit in other parts. There was other parts that I was saying, God, that's not good.
Yeah.
But, overall, it was a positive thing. And I think that's the best multiverse explanation done in a film.
Sure.
Through a bowl of spaghetti.
Done.
I think that's fucking awesome.
Good stuff.
But yeah, no, your thoughts, please.
So I really wanted to like this because the Flash is my favorite superhero.
Yes.
I had really, really, really high hopes just hearing how everybody loved it. Tom Cruise apparently called the director, like all this shit that they've been hyping it up. Anyways, and then I was like, I had to just like reel in my expectations after Spiderverse because Spiderverse I had high and didn't really reach those, but still good. I was like, okay, my expectations are too high for the Flash. I got to settle it down.
Yes.
And I really wanted to love it, and I didn't love it, but I really liked it.
Yep, no fair.
I really, really liked it. And I had to put my views away about like I love DC and just had to rate it as it is. And it was a solid 4 to 4.25 out of 5 for me. And I have never seen anything like the internet act like they have towards this film. Ever.
Yeah?
And Twitter is such a toxic fucking place, man.
I'm not on Twitter, but...
Don't. It's like, wow. James Gunn has some mad balls for being on Twitter. Like, especially like going into this DC universe, like, fuck me, it is so bad. And I hate it because so many people just jump on the trains of other people and don't like to form their own opinions.
Absolutely.
The CGI is supposed to be that way.
Yep.
It's supposed to be from the perspective of the fucking Speed Force in the Flash, and everybody that's complaining about the CGI can just go fucking suck a dick because like it's supposed to be that way. You look past it.
Yeah, I
just
thought
like compare that to the rest of the film CGI. The rest of the film CGI is fantastic. You really think if one part of this film has amazing CGI and this part not so good CGI, that's
intentional.
Like, intentional? Brother, sort your fucking mind out. Another reason, and this is like, fair enough, people are like just boycotting this film because of Ezra, right?
Yeah.
And
Grow up.
like, I get it, and if you want to do that, that's fine because of the shit that he's done, but you've got to be able to fucking separate that shit. You've got to be able to separate the artist from the art, and, you know, there are so many other people that worked on this film to be brought down by one person's actions.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and I was able to set that across. And you know what? I don't agree with what Ezra's done, like all the shit that he's been through.
Yeah.
This guy's obviously suffering from mental health issues and needs to get help. You know, that's that. But separating Ezra's performance was incredible.
Yep.
Doing the dual things, and I listened to the same IndieWire podcast, but with Andy, who was the director, who also had a cameo in the film. Did you see where he was holding the hot dog? And then
that's him.
That was him. But he talked about how they did that, and it was a new technology how they did the Ezra split like because he was there. So what he did is he had whichever Ezra had the most lines in the script, like if it was Barry 1 or Barry 2, Ezra would act that, and they would get a stand-in, similar size, similar, you know, intricacies that Ezra and the director picked out. They hired this guy to act as the double, right? And what happened is they only filmed, like I said, Ezra was only in one Barry at a time, but what he did is whatever Barry had more scenes in that scene that they were shooting on that day, Ezra was in that. And then they left it, they edited the whole movie, and then after the movie was edited together, Ezra then came back into this kind of motion capture with like 1,000 cameras and did the performance of the second Barry that they somehow put the face on.
That's crazy.
The body, which was amazing. And like the artistry, it was just, I'm in awe. It was I thought it was a very good film.
Mm-hmm.
Keaton was amazing. Sasha Cale, who played Kara, is amazing, and I hope they bring her back for Supergirl. Yeah, and I hope they bring her back for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow because she deserves it.
Yes.
She was incredible. The suit looked incredible. I don't know if you heard about all the alternate endings for that, but like this film has been in production hell. It was announced in 2013, so like it's been in production.
Fuck, really?
It's been in production hell for ages, and like ever since Batman vs Superman came out, like they announced it. And they got it done. I think Andy did a really good job. And people need to just get the stick out of their ass and stop like tailgating people's opinions and form their own. Like, I hate it when people see something online then go into the movie with already a developed idea. Like, make your own fucking decisions about it. Like,
I feel like that's where you and I are different to other people because we go to the cinema by ourselves.
Mate,
you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
in that respect. And yeah, I feel like we can form that opinion of what we're watching based off our own experience because we're the only ones there.
And like it made me happy to. That's true. It made me happy to be a DC fan. Like, and I know the best is yet to come because this was the last movie of the old DC hierarchy, and the execs that are no longer there. And yeah, that's why the ending had to be reshot a couple times because originally Henry Cavill was there. Originally, fucking Gal Gadot was there. Fucking Keaton was still there.
Yep.
Supergirl was still there. They had to reshoot it with a certain somebody who came in at the very, very end.
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
Yeah.
Mate, I audibly gasped. I'm like, they did not just fucking do that because holy shit, without going into spoilers, like that ending was fucking perfect for me.
Yeah.
Like seeing that guy come back was just like, no fucking way they did that. Like bat nips, bro. He's back. But yeah, that was incredible. I thought it was a great film. You know, I love his vision, obviously, and they just hired him to direct the new Batman Brave and the Bold under James Gunn's new DC universe. Yeah. So, because I think one of the best parts about that film is how Andy handled Batman, and I think out of everything, he will handle Batman Brave and the Bold just well. And now I'm excited to see what James Gunn does for the future of DC. And Blue Beetle is the first character in James Gunn's new universe, but the first movie in James Gunn's new universe is going to be Superman Legacy.
Good.
So I'm happy. I gave that 4.25 out of 5. What you gave it now? 3 out of 5.
Yep.
Cool. And now the last movie, which we'll touch on real quick, is Extraction 2.
Wowzers.
I'll give mine first because I know you'll probably have a lot to say.
Wowzers.
I thought it was good. I think I'll read my review because then I won't really have much to say otherwise from that. I think my review kind of summed it up quite nicely. I saw Elemental last night, by the way.
Is that out?
Yeah,
what
cute.
The heck?
It was all right. It was cute.
Cool.
It was nice.
Yeah, nice.
Had my girlfriend and her mum's boyfriend crying, which was funny.
Oh.
Cute movie. So, my review for Extraction. This is a very interesting one. I came to the conclusion the action genre isn't for me. For me, senseless guns and explosions just don't do it for me. It's not enough to provide that connection to the story or characters that make it an absolute memorable viewing. Most of this movie is just that. Explosions, fire, guns, a weak story, characters with no development, deaths that mean nothing, that we are supposed to care about, and Hemsworth's subpar dramatic acting chops. Although what this movie does contain is not a memorable story, but memorable moments. The best one-take in cinematic history, that's saying a lot, when we had an Oscar-winning one-take movie. This scene absolutely drew you in and leaves you speechless and left my film analytical brain in shambles. This film has a memorable lead character, although not entirely original or Oscar-worthy acting. Its character, much like John Wick, who was a household name for, well, being a badass. On a technical level, this movie absolutely excelled, but on an emotional or cared about level, this story is absolutely forgettable. Characters are not cared about and/or have no character development, and I really don't understand how people can walk away from this movie with any sort of memory than, yeah, it's cool, boom, explosions, pew pew guns. Again, that's just my personal preference, and if they can, good on them. Sam Hargraves is an amazing action director, and the choreography and time this would have taken to plan out and execute is absolutely astonishing. I'm in awe of this on a technical level. I'm in awe of the crew, the stunt department, and Hargraves' understanding of this genre and his vision. This movie should be studied in the action genre film class at a top-level example.
100%.
That's all I got to say. Didn't connect with it emotionally, but the action was good and top class, and that's all.
No, fair enough. That's all valid. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong and all that kind of stuff because, again, it's your informed opinion and that's totally fine. I respect it. However, I appreciated the shit out of this film because that's like me to a T.
Yes, I know
as
that.
You know. I just thought, like, the sheer awesomeness of it all, and although minus the fucking kid being annoying. That's a usual trope that I'm not starting to realise, and it's really annoying. There was just I was just watching the movie just going, wow, 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 wow. And the thought of this actually being done is beyond me, and the fact that it is actually insane, bar one shot, which I feel like was done on a green screen. The one shot with green screen is when they have that dialogue exchange and on the balcony, and then the kid goes like, I'm sorry, he's coming, and then the helicopter rises, and then they do the like that shot that they did in Jaws when like they push in, zoom out, that one.
Zoom dolly.
They do that on the helicopter. I was like, why? Like, why? Like, just have the reaction shot. It's way more, it holds more gravity if you don't do that shot because it's obvious who's coming. But anyway, they did that. It's probably my only knock on the film. I feel like Chris Hemsworth, apart from Thor, was born to play this character. And because, like you said to me before, with the script I'm writing, you know, it's sort of, you know, there's action and all that kind of stuff. There's the John Wickness of it all. And, you know, it's really hard to reinvent action films based off that pinnacle of action. And it's the grittiness and form of action that is on display here is Sam Hargrave and Chris Hemsworth to a T, I feel.
Exactly.
And that's
what I told you is what makes this film different is Sam Hargrave's perspective and take and experience on the action genre.
Absolutely.
John Wick, but a bit more gritty.
Yeah. Gritty and everything. My mate put it perfectly. He goes, it's like John Wick meets Rambo, and it's just gritty as fuck.
Gritty.
And I was like, that's perfect. And like, it's hard to, and again, because Chris Hemsworth is cast as his character, it's hard to imagine anyone else playing him.
Does that Aussie accent annoy you at all?
No, I feel like it's really great because it's just like, you know, you could get into be like, all right, put an accent on or stuff. It just feel like, I just thought it felt natural. I just like, just let him do everything else that he needs to do, because again, the acting isn't the way you come and watch this. Yeah, exactly. So I felt like, you know, it's good. Just gave him the freedom to focus on other stuff, and you know, that's me to a T. And you know, I was just blown away. I've seen it 3 times already. What? I'm
surprised it didn't crack your top 4 or whatever. Did you prefer this one or the first one?
This one.
Okay.
This one. I felt like they did step it up because it's a sequel and they had more money and more backings and all that kind of stuff. I just felt like it was just bigger.
Was Idris Elba in the first one?
No.
Do you prefer this or the Grey Man?
Don't do that to me. Because they're on my top 4. Like, it goes a Grey Man, Extraction too, but like they're
so this did crack your top 5.
Yeah, it's like level pegging.
You didn't change it on your letterbox.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I did. But like they're level peggings, because it's just like, for me, like I said to you, the dialogue in the action scenes for me, like they're just making little remarks as they do the thing. Like, for example, Nick is like, hurry, they're about to fucking blow up the car. And then he comes in and just swipes him out of the car and he's like, was that quick enough? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of stuff that I was just like, fuck yeah. So, you know, for me, and that happens in the Grey Man as well. Like, it's just, I don't know. It just clicks for me.
Fair enough.
Clicks with me for some reason. And I feel like
those are the films you got to make, brother.
Like, yeah, exactly right. Like, I just thought to myself, you know, if this is like, if I was already inspired from your set and then I've watched this film, I just please get this over the line. Like, I just want to get this made. I want to go back to choreographing something because that's so much fun, and then just doing stuff like that. Like, that's, yeah. So this was my film to a T.
Nice,
like, bro. I loved everything about it, and
5 out of 5.
Yes.
2 things I want to touch before we move on. This is one of my biggest knocks on the film, is that they're killing characters off, which we don't give a shit about, in my opinion. Did you give a shit about, spoiler alert, okay, the first guy that died? Well, you know how there's the 3 people, Chris Hemsworth, the girl, and the dude?
Yes.
Spoiler alert. You've been warned. When the dude died...
In the helicopter?
Yeah. I could not give a shit.
Yeah, but you're supposed to care for Nick, not him.
No. Who's Nick?
The girl.
Yeah, her brother or whatever.
Yeah, her brother. You're supposed to care for her. It's like her point of view.
Okay. But did that affect you at all, that scene?
I felt for her. I didn't really care that he died. I just felt for her. That's what I mean. Because they set them up pretty well.
Yeah, it makes sense when you put it like that. But it's like, I feel like when you're just killing people off and you make a big deal out of it, you turn, bro.
That's why I did
this fucking trope of like silence, no sound, no music, and fucking slow mo. That trope just annoys the fucking shit out of me.
Which one was that?
Like when somebody dies
and
like everything goes silent. And it's just. And you see the spit between the teeth. Like that's overused, and for somebody that we could not care less about dying, we have no emotional connection to him. That's what annoys me, is when directors are killing off their characters because they think we give a shit when they haven't done any character development or anything. Like, why do we give a shit? Give us a reason to give a shit why this person is dying. That's one of my knocks on the film.
I think. Yeah, that annoys because Nick was established in the first one.
Yeah.
And then she has more gravitas in the second one as more of like a sort of level.
But the brother, that's what pegging. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know, but you're supposed to care for her. As like you care.
So not care for him, but care for her.
Yes, that's how I took it.
But because as a supporting character, I don't think she has enough, if we were doing it from Chris Hemsworth's perspective, because he is the lead character and we want to feel for the lead character, then for sure. But it's the same thing with the whole supporting character. We don't care about her. I mean, as much as Hemsworth.
Yeah. Okay, put it this way. Did you want any of the Avengers to die in Endgame?
No, but we got all of their character development.
This is the little Avengers we're dealing with here. The three of them.
No.
And one of the... No. Okay.
Not the Avengers. Fuck that.
Listen. Like, you don't want any of the Avengers to die in the high stakes that they're fighting through, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't want any of them to die because, to be fair, when he got shot a couple times, like, oh, fuck, no. Like, Nick isn't going to...
Oh, no.
Like, Nick isn't going to fucking deal with this well.
Yeah, okay.
And so then when they're flying away and he's like, I'm done. And then she dies and then they have that moment. I was kind of like, Nick, I feel really bad. And that's why at the end, because upon a rewatch, when I didn't hear this the first time, I don't know why I didn't hear this the first time. I think I was just focused on Chris or something like that. But like she mutters under her breath, like, I'm going to shoot this fucking asshole's face off or something like that. And then he looks at her and then I don't know what he does, but sort of goes like, put the gun down, and she's like, fuck you. Like she's just filled with vengeance ready because they took the brother. That's what he does. Yeah. He mocks her brother's death.
Yeah. And so he's used as a plot device, not a fucking person we care about.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, like, this is going to send Nick over the edge.
Sure.
And now I'm thinking about it, granted that she's at the end as well, perhaps she's going to get her own movie.
Spin-off?
Spin-off or something.
No. I'm fucking sick of these characters. I'm
kidding. So I feel like they're building her up. And
cool.
This might be her motivation for things moving forward.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I took it.
I'm excited to see who Idris Elba's boss is.
The gnarly motherfucker.
Who is this gnarly motherfucker? Mel Gibson.
It has to be.
That's my guess.
Has to be. Or Al Pacino or something.
Shia LaBeouf. So, who would be your main pick to be the boss?
Well, because I've just finished Succession, Brian Cox. Because Logan Roy is such a fucking good character. But
right, I'll tell you who would fit perfectly. Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah.
To be a gnarly... Bro, he is a gnarly motherfucker.
Just personifying Logan. Boss.
It's just like, no. Anyways.
But yeah, I think that's...
Cool. Is that about
that's our wrap up.
5 out of 5. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 because I respect the fuck out of it. Yeah. Respect it. Cool. So now we go on to the progress. Austin. What's been happening, brother? Tell me. And by the way, we have a dependent variable, which we'll get into, the fucking hardships of being an indie director.
So I feel like most of my progress we talked about in dependent variable, but I have a little animatic made up.
Oh, you do?
Yep, I'll show you it. It's good. It's needs work, and I've told this to Anna, but like...
Did Anna make it?
Anna did make the animatic.
Anna made the animatic.
But, there's been a bit of a miscommunication. And with Jeffrey backing out, I'm kind of realizing that now the storyboards he made somewhere down the line, and I'm not sure if it was in a call that I wasn't in because I was at work, that he said that it was the official storyboards of the entire sequence. So now, moving forward, everybody's going off that. And I've gone, why? Where did this happen? Like, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, and then I think down the line, I said use the reference video for the animatic, and then I've got like a mixture of both. And then there was a part of the animatic I was kind of like, where did that come from? So there's been a miscommunication. So then I just went, okay, everybody, like, we're going back to the start. Like, I'm not wiping out everything we've done. Let's keep everything we've done, but let's work towards it, because I feel like we've skipped a few steps. So what I've done is I've gone back. I've created it. It's all on my laptop. I forgot to bring it to show you. And I've created this folder on my laptop. Stain, animation sequence, everything that needs to be done. So what I've done is I put the script in there, the animation script. I've put that document I shared last time I was here of like the beats, and then like they can choose to animate this scene, that scene, that scene. That's in there. I've also put in like a breakdown thing, and I'm as we speak, like not right now, but like I'll go home and finish it off. I'm creating like a template that I want them to follow, and I'm going to get each of them to break down the script their way. Then when we jump on a call this Thursday, we're going to talk the shit out of the script, and then I'm going to go from there into officially storyboarding it, so then we can all get on the same page.
I thought you storyboarded it.
No. Jeffrey storyboarded it. His concept.
Okay.
His concept, and that's how they...
And you didn't see a storyboard?
No. I did see the storyboards that Jeffrey came up with, but then somehow down the line that got made as the official storyboards of the entire animation sequence. Mm-hmm. Because Anna asked me a question, what's Stain doing here? I was like, I don't know, because that's not in the script, but fair. Like, I understand the confusion. Let me clear this up. So
do you have official storyboards?
I don't have official storyboards. All I have is the reference video, Jeffrey's storyboards, the breakdown that I've put in there of the beats. That didn't just go on the white jacket, did it? Nope. The breakdown, beat sheet, and everything like that. So what I'm saying to them is, here's the script, break it down, come at me with your ideas, let's talk about it as a team collectively, and then what we're going to do is go step by step. So that's the thing I put in the Discord. We're going to talk about a strategy moving forward, who's going to do what we're going to do, and what I'm introducing is weekly calls, because I'm sick of this fortnightly business.
You also,
a lot of time goes by.
You got to stop trying to cater for everybody. You just got to do majority.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so hard to get everybody on the same call. I see that happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm sort of just going, okay, weekly's happening. Whoever can make it. Mm-hmm. I'll put notes in. Just go off that. Catch up. Message me, because I'm sick of waiting. And from that, it goes...
You need a fucking head, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need head, but you need a head. You need an animation head, because you can't do it yourself. You don't know enough about animation.
Yeah, so the step one was the strategy, and we're going to discuss that. Then the second is the story concept, but I said because it's already done, the screenplay is written, let's break down the script. Step 3 is the script. Step 4 is the character design and animation direction, which we're all going to do it all over the fucking breakdown and everything like that. And then we go into storyboarding, then the key animation, then the backgrounds, then the lighting, then the sound design, which I'm talking to a guy at work about sound design, so that's cool. Then color correction, final revisions, and then it should all be done. But what I'm doing to enforce that is weekly calls, whoever can make it, catch up on notes, ask me questions, but then I'm hoping to talk to someone about potentially coming on as a head animator, and then that way we can just establish this current that just doesn't stop, this flow that just doesn't stop, because I'm sick of like not making progress on it, and it's really doing my head in, because it's like it's uncharted territory for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I kind of just need to put my foot down.
This is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Doing animation without any animation history, without an animation head that has animation history.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that the lifeline I throw today is going to kick everything into gear. And I've gotten to a point, like I said to you on text message last night, if it gets to a point where some changes have to happen, then the changes have to happen, because we have no contractual obligations. and there's just some hard things that need to happen. If it happens, it happens. But
So
it's
this
a cutthroat industry, man.
this guy, I've actually met him.
Oh,
And I met him at Flickerfest, but he's a guy I was talking to before, and he didn't jump on because he didn't have enough time, I don't think.
right.
But now that he's like
Looking for work,
or he was looking for us, like looking for people, but he just never got. So
Oh, is this that guy?
This is Joel. Yeah, I think so. So, and he would like won a couple of awards at Flickerfest.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So, I don't know if he'll be able to do it, but like
It's just if he knows people, if he can send people my direction that are like Brett. The perfect way to put this is Connor came onto your project, had his team, they did the job.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking for.
yeah, yeah. Difference. I paid Connor.
Well, I have a budget.
That's true. I paid Connor. Connor was the main animator. He was the main camera guy, and yeah, all the rest work for free. Animation's a bit different though.
Yeah,
Because
but no, that's the kind of aspect I'm looking at. What will be will be. We just have to get there first so I can figure out the fucking logistics.
yeah. Okay, cool. I'll send him an email. I'll CC you in it.
Please.
And then you can take over when he responds.
Yes, please. That'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Because then I can say, this is the pipeline that I have in theory. What's your take on this? Because I want to get this moving ASAP.
Yes.
So
Cool.
please, with your expertise and everything, let it happen. If he can't do it, fair enough. Just, I need someone to tell me.
Lifeline. Yeah, you need somebody,
like,
bro.
Yeah, I need to throw a Hail Mary.
Somebody.
And
Well, other than this, you're keeping creatively
yes, that I am.
stimulated. Yes. How so?
By writing my next film. And it doesn't involve a shred of animation. But
Fuck
it involves
yes.
another challenge that I'm incredibly excited to take on because I can kind of control it, is
Choreography.
fight choreography. And because
These are movies you love.
that's what I get my kick out of. Like, that's what does it for me when I watch movies. Don't get me wrong, I don't go into fucking La La Land and expect fight choreography. I appreciate every film for what they try to do. So there's that. But for me, the thing that just gives me that like fire in the belly is legitimately fight choreography and really elaborate, cool fight choreography at that. Speaking of which, remind me after we get off air, I've got a short film I want to show you that Lockie showed me when he was down. And that's the kind of shit I want to create to start out with. So I'll tell you about it.
Anything you can tell anybody about this script?
It's basically like it's a short film with a bit of story, proof of concept-esque that, if it impresses the right people, it impresses the right people. If it doesn't, it's just a cool thing that I had fun making.
Done.
And
You
essentially...
need something to your name.
Exactly right. Essentially, it is, there's got to be a bit of story to it. Otherwise, it's not. It's just pointless. No, let me scratch that. It's not pointless, but it's like, why did this happen otherwise? So I wanted there to be a bit of a story and sort of tease something more. But the wow factor is the fight scene and the shit we do with the camera.
Fight scenes have been made a lot, Austin.
Absolutely, they have.
How are you going to put your spin on it? Do you know that answer yet?
Kind of not, but working on it.
Cool.
So there are some things, there are some ideas I have that I'm going to run by the people involved with the production, but it's arguably just like, figuring out that stuff. And I'm just excited to get lost in this again, like I did with Stain. So,
Do you have a timeline or no?
no timeline yet.
Okay.
Because I'm still writing.
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing what...
Once you're happy with the script, then you create a timeline.
Yeah.
Because who knows when Stain's going to be done.
Exactly.
You don't have control of that at the moment. So let's make something that you do have control of.
Absolutely. So,
And not saying you don't have control of it.
No, I know.
It's in other people's hands.
Absolutely.
So.
Let's say if I was to go timeline, I want to guess. I'd like to get into making this ASAP, but I don't want to rush it if it's not ready. But I want to say, what are we in? We're in June.
If you get Stain underway,
6 months.
I reckon early next year you film it.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I kind of want
Just
to...
work on it.
Yeah.
Work on it.
And, pre-production's obviously going to be a thing, and, like, there's going to be lots of logistics to take care of, which is fine. I'm excited.
If you do exactly what you're saying you're going to do. There's not going to be much editing involved.
No.
So you can,
It's an exciting concept.
Cool.
And yeah, that's about all I have for now.
No worries. That's perfect, mate.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with, progress and
amazing
stuff. So
good.
Cool.
Amazing.
I'm in a happy place. Let's put it that way.
Good. I'm glad to hear, brother. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run you through my post-production schedule, what we're looking like
Please
for Ozmar
do,
at
sir.
the moment. So this is what we plan to do. So I've gone through all the rushes, bar one folder that didn't copy over to the hard drive, which I have now. Got to look through those. But yes, we're going to have an assembly cut by the end of June. Rough cut revisions throughout July. And we'll have a rough cut / fine cut by the end of July.
Yes.
By the end of July, we then send it to Federico over in Italy, who is awaiting the cut. And we're going to get that sorted there.
Beautiful.
We're also going to deliver it to Kieran, who's agreed and wants to do the sound design. So we're going to deliver it to Kieran as well, the same time we deliver it to Federico. Then in August and September, we are going to be sound designing. We're going to be composing. We're going to be doing any leftover VFX that we need to do. And we're going to be doing ADR, which leaves us to October. And October, we're going to sound mix that shit all together.
Good.
And then we're going to start color grading.
Nice.
Throughout October. Then hopefully, November 9th, we lock the film.
Nice.
Which gives us a month of test screenings, hopefully, between a tight-knit group of people that I trust that are not part of the film in any capacity. So we're going to hopefully do that.
What did you just say? That will
test screenings with people that are not already a part of the film in any capacity. So people that aren't a part of the crew, people that aren't a part of the cast.
I don't know what I heard. I heard not
people that aren't going to give me biased opinions based because they know me or know this film.
Gotcha.
Then the 9th of December, we're going to premiere it. So yes, that is the plan. We've changed angles. Sorry, Austin's camera's dead.
Sorry.
So that is the plan from now on. Where we're at right now, like I said, I've looked through the rushes. Very excited. Good catch. Sorry, this whole thing we forgot to mention. The podcast sponsored by Bodhi's Protein Water. 15 grams, whey isolate, and you know where to get them.
Or your leading chemists.
Leading chemist outlets. Very good. Light little snackaroony after the gym. Get yourself some light protein, intake.
Absolutely.
Water, not chunky protein shakes.
Bodhi's Protein Water.
Bodhi's Protein Water. There you go. Yeah, that's what the plans are. I've gone through the rushes, like I said. Amazing. Very, very happy with how it's turned out. Better than I could have imagined, especially after we'll cut for time on days, which was a big challenge, which we'll get into. But yeah, very happy, very excited. And we have about 16 minutes of the film edited, assembled.
Nice.
Which, from what I've seen, will only need minor touch-ups, which is good. Which I haven't given Lockie notes yet because I'm waiting to get the whole thing and then give him notes after the fact. And we'll do one big session in person, and hopefully in that session we can crack it out, all the notes that I give him.
Beautiful.
And hopefully he will need a bit of time to do the titles and stuff, and then we can get cracking after that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm very excited, very happy with how it's turned out.
How do you feel looking back at it? Like, granted that you're behind it all.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's not like I'm even watching one of my movies. It's like I'm watching like something that should be in cinemas right now.
Nice.
And I've no doubt that this will either get picked up to be made a feature, or progress me in my career somehow.
Absolutely.
One of the two.
Do you know what I said to a bunch of people, actually?
Yeah.
I was like, I know that this is going to, because just granted of how much work you put into it, and you can tell by the attention to detail and what's on screen and the performances and everything about it. I was like, this is going to propel you. Like, this is going to do wonders for you. I have every bit of faith that it will. And
I hope so.
That's the goal.
I have a special meeting with a special somebody at the end of the year, hopefully. Did I tell you or no? I'm pretty sure
KFC?
I did.
Is that what you told us?
KFC.
No. You told us KFC?
No, another one. I'll bleep this out. I'm meeting the producer of...
Oh, that... No, you told us that at the fucking...
Yeah, and
on your set. Yeah, on the board.
Yeah.
That's right, bro.
The Oscar winner. So, Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
You guys, we bleeped all of that out, but yeah, I'm excited for that. It was a challenge, man. This whole set, I might list through some challenges that we went through on set, and then we'll go into the challenges in general.
Nice little segue.
Actually, you know
to
what?
The
No. I'll talk about it in the dependent variable because it's just it matches everything. But yeah, so we're planning to finish this all by November and have a month's buffer of things to get it ready. And
Beautiful.
I'm thinking of holding the premiere. Well, I am going to hold it at Towers, at the local cinemas, and
VMAX.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Because not only there's over 100 people working on this film, and then you got those 100 people plus friends and family.
Partners,
and I'm also thinking of opening it to the public as well.
Nice.
Like the internal public.
Gotcha.
So like people on Instagram and stuff that want to come, like my personal or fans of the It's a Film, Instagram page, or the pre-production meeting, like fans that want to come see.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm going to charge the public to try and make some money back for the premiere itself, because it's not going to be cheap.
That makes me happy. It's honestly like it will be. It is a film in cinemas, but it's like, you're going to look up at that big screen and go, that's mine.
Yeah, and it's not a local cinema.
It's a local, it's a movie going experience.
But also, we're going to have Jay's doco playing beforehand as well.
Beautiful. No, and beforehand or after?
I don't know.
I think you want to do that after.
I don't know.
You don't want to take away the wow factor. You don't want to take away the wow factor before.
I reckon, because I end the doco going, I look directly in the camera and I go, enjoy the movie, and then close. Oh, but yeah. Maybe we do it after.
I feel like you should do it. But hey.
You reckon?
I don't want to sway your opinion.
Nah, because,
But we did have that conversation of, you might be looking for what you did.
But then you want to end the night with the thing that they've been waiting for, and they haven't been waiting for the doco.
Yeah, true.
But it could show you what it's all about.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a conversation we've got to have.
Have a conversation with multiple people, see what happens.
Yeah.
It's
there we go.
Going to be killer either way.
Yeah, but I'll show you some of the footage that I have edited.
Please do.
After that.
That'd be great.
I mean, no, I'm not going to show him the footage, Lockie. But no, I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Federico, the composer, is really excited.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, every time I see him put on his story new projects, I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm his new project.
Good.
But yeah, just some of the stills and the feedback that we've been getting from people.
Yeah.
I showed Sarah and her roommate the tent scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the second half of the tent scene that's been edited. No, I showed Sarah and her roommate the half of the tent scene that Lockie has edited. It's the assembly cut, and they both cried. Sarah cried twice. I showed her by herself, but then I showed her roommate, who's her best friend, and they both cried because they're like, holy shit, you made this.
Yeah, fuck, wow.
I did not expect that. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, this scene is not sad.
Yeah.
So something's happening here. They're like, we can't believe that you made that.
Well, it's a different level of quality than, I'd say
two's the lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So, it's a massive step up. It's, if it's warranting.
I don't know if they're sorting out to come in here or what.
Oh, maybe they are because it's almost 2:00.
Okay. Okay. But yes, that's my thing going forward, my plan. And it was a nice little reaction I got from.
Beautiful.
Now the dependent variable. We'll do this in 10 minutes. So
yes.
I reckon. We're going to talk about the struggles and challenges of being an indie filmmaker and what we've gone through so far. I think we might have done something similar to this, but I think it's good to touch back on. Austin, I know you have a few. What do you reckon?
One of the biggest struggles as an indie filmmaker?
Yeah, mate.
Communication. Communication, organisation, and they're my two biggest ones.
Okay.
Because right now I'm facing a lack of both.
Yeah.
And it's been one of the greatest challenges because I think the things I've put in place are making things happen. But then later down the track, it gets expressed to me that there's a bit of confusion, there's a bit of miscommunication, there's a bit of unorganization. And you go, why didn't you tell me that when it was a fucking problem? Because then I would have tackled it right then and there. Because I've gone la-di-da-di-da, thinking it's all sweet.
Yeah.
And then you get hit with a fucking bomb. And I'm like, okay, that's probably my biggest communication and organization.
Yeah.
And
Money, I think, has got to do with that.
Yeah.
Because
So
we're not. Everybody in indie, you know, they're not always getting paid
Yeah.
to be, you know, in this indie filmmaking industry when everybody's being brought up. You know, in the same industry, you're helping people.
Yeah.
And when people aren't getting paid, they don't give a shit.
Yes, exactly right. It goes without saying that money is the biggest factor in indie filmmaking because, like you said, there's no pay, there's no this, there's no that, because you're paying for things that need to be paid for, and you're relying on the people that are working on the film to go, this is fucking awesome. I'm happy to just be here helping.
Yeah, and you have to rely on that. Like, we get it, you know, like people need to get paid and freelancers, you know, that's their job. And I have the same problem on my film. We had so many dropouts of extras, flaky extras, never doing a film with that many extras again until I reached the point where they reach out to me going, I want to fucking be on this.
Absolutely.
Because we had 6 bed ones. We had 6 bed ones that needed to rock up on the 10th day, and we had 5 cancellations the day before.
Yep.
One person showed up. And it's like, I like low key can't wait till those people see this film because like people with the ballroom, like people like this dude applied for the fucking role, right, of a bed one. I don't give a shit. Paul. I don't fucking know his last name. His name was Paul. He applied for the role and then I offered it to him and he said 2 words, nah, pass.
What?
Like, bitch, you fucking applied.
What the hell?
You applied. I'm like, what do you mean, nah, pass, brother? You fucking applied, you melon. But like, we had so many people drop out and not let us know. And it's like, courtesy. Brother, you ain't going to get in this industry if you don't have common courtesy. You should know how the indie filmmaking world works.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't want to be on the wrong side of it. We ain't going to recommend you to people if you get recommended. And I get it. People don't know how big Ozmar was, and that's fine. I did. So the people that rocked up, you know, they're going to get a lot out of this.
Absolutely.
And fair enough. I don't blame people for not, you know, just thinking this is going to be another indie project. I get that. But have the common decency of as a fucking decent human being to let the producer, myself, know what's happening.
Communication.
There was one guy that let me know what was happening. It was because he was having car troubles and we had to can him last minute because he just wasn't going to make it in time. But like, I can't count how many family emergencies people had. Apparently everybody has a family emergency the same fucking week.
No.
You know?
Scheduled.
Bro, just like it's the family emergency week. Like it was crazy. Oh my gosh. Insane. The hospitals must have been fucking busy that week because my set sure wasn't. Extras, brother.
Oh, God.
Anyways, what's another one for you?
I think that's pretty much it for me.
Just communication, bro. It's just dog shit, I tell you.
But and that's the thing, and if that's one thing I could change, it has to be better. Communication is key because there's no obligation. Like you said, common courtesy is a thing, but that's expressed through communication. And the thing is, I think a lot of people are scared to have the communication, the conversation, because they're worried it's going to upset the other person, so they just avoid it altogether. That's not on. Just have the common decency to like tell them, because then they can come up with a way to fix it. Yes, they might have a way of reacting, going, fuck, okay, like, shit, it would have been good if you could have done this, blah, blah, blah. But like, the communication puts things in motion. You don't know if it doesn't happen. So that's my big thing, is communication.
Yeah. Same with me, brother. Same with fucking me. Just communication with everybody is just fucking shit. And nobody respects it. I think it all comes down to respect for indie filmmaking. Not everybody that is trying to come up as a filmmaker has the respect for the indie industry that they should. And I'm talking about also places like costume places, right? I'm not naming names, but like that are preying on little productions that trying to exonerate thousands of dollars out of them when they know that we don't have thousands of dollars of budget.
Yeah.
And like just snarky little sneaky things that they do to try and exonerate you. And this comes down to communication. You know, not everybody has the money. Communication, respect for this indie filmmaking industry. Not everybody has it, and they should. And I think that is the main problem overall. It all comes down to respect.
Yep.
Right? We're all trying to make it. Have the fucking respect, and with that comes communication.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody has the money. Money's a big problem, right? I look at my bank account now, and I'm sad.
Yep.
But hey, that's that. It's 2:00. We got to wrap up now.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Austin?
But let's tie a little bow on this episode and
Yes,
get
you
out of
can
here.
find us in the pre-production meeting, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, Pre-Prod Pod, Insta, TikTok. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace out.
Bye.